guys, welcome to Little Big Podcast. This is episode 122. I'm Daniel.
I'm Austin.
And I think he's graduating today and is getting to his head.
Yeah, I'm graduating and I've officially dumped school off for the rest of my life. No, just kidding. I'm going to college next year. But yeah, I've officially dumped off my high school years, so I can act however I want now.
Okay, well, we're like on
I'm
air
just
right
kidding.
now.
We're on
so,
air.
Yeah,
And,
let's
so
do
we're gonna get back.
Stuff.
This is episode 122, and we're back to normal programming. And
PlayStation Network is almost fully operational. We're just waiting for the store to come back online. And
so we have art, we have news, and we have levels for you guys this week. So let's go ahead and kick that off with the art. First up, we have Sackboy Progression by JK. This is a three-piece progression of him drawing Sackboy. The first one's kind of just like an outline. The second one adds in the texture, and then the third one adds in the color, which was really cool just to see how he did what he did.
Yeah, really cool. And one of the coolest things about this is I can't do it, so it's cool to see somebody that can do it. And yeah, I like that piece of art quite a bit. Next, we have Little Big Podcast by Hannah. This was us meeting Sackboy, and it was quite a cool drawing. It was us, and we were the same size as Sackboy, which means so we either got smaller or much bigger.
And needless to say, Sackboy was speechless.
Wow, that was awful.
Yeah.
All right, next we have MM plus LBP2 by ZZ-Man 2000.
Yeah, this one was you could almost call this calligraphy because he drew the two logos next to each other, which is pretty talented if you ask me, because I don't know, I can't do type very well in real life, so that's what the computers are for, by the way. Okay, so those are our three art pieces for this week. If you are a talented artist or a semi-talented artist, hit us up, littlebigpodcasters@gmail.com. Just attach your art, and we'll try to feature it on the show if we can, which most likely we can.
Yes. All right, and next we have our levels. First we have Ballistics by Hasbell.
This was a really interesting level. It was more of like a mini game, I guess, and two of these this week are mini games, but this one was pretty interesting. It was 4 people all around the edges, and you each had kind of like goaltending to do, and it would shoot out steel balls from each corner, and you had to deflect them from going into your goal, and you only were allowed, I want to say you could only let 20 past you before you were eliminated. And so there's actually, I guess the coolest thing about this was it can be up to a 4-player game, but when you play it with just under that, there's AI sack people that come in and fill the places of the other opponents. So obviously the coolest thing here is the logic that was involved in making an AI
What's his
character.
slogan? It's like Hasbell's the name,
Logic's my game. I don't know, something like that. But it was
he definitely knows his logic. So.
It was a very impressive level. Yep. I think it's a reference to an older PS1 game, but I'm not completely sure on that. But it's definitely really awesome to play. And obviously one of the coolest things behind this is the technical achievements of making AI players and, of course, getting the countdowns right.
Super cool. Alright, next we have Lights Out by Baghead Inc. Now, this was a minigame as well, but it was a much more complex thinking headache kind of minigame in which you have to shut off all the lights. And it was almost like those little triangle things where you have the golf tees and you have to jump them.
Almost, yeah.
But it was more frustrating.
Kind of like a Rubik's Cube almost, the way you have to...
Probably.
Instead of making everything line up, you have to kind of turn everything off. But there's an easy and hard mode. It's not until you solve it. You have a timer, and then it's how many times you can solve it in that time limit, which is pretty cool. There's obviously like a little pattern to it, and I'm not a very logical person in that respect. Like I don't follow patterns very well, to tell you the truth. But a lot of you guys are really talented and smart in that area, so you might find this very easy. If you do, there's a hard mode. And I didn't even try that because it would have been a random guess for me to gotten that right. So anyway, it's a very cool level. It was a lot of fun to play, and obviously you could sit there for hours and do it, but it might get a little repetitive. Yeah. But it was still pretty cool.
All right, next we have Cooking Up a Storm by Climbing Girl, and there's no number afterwards, so that's kind of weird. The camera's overheating.
This is a I'll fix that then.
Okay, this was a really cool level. It's kind of like a story mode extension for Victoria's laboratory, and it kind of just extends the story a little bit. You're making muffins and, well, destroying muffins and cupcakes and ridding the factory of the evil Negativitron jelly kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was very cool. It's definitely based around Queen Victoria and I guess
Queen Victoria?
Yeah.
Dude, that's too much history for this week.
I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, it was based upon the Victoria's Laboratory area. I call her Queen because she looks like a queen still, but you know, I mean, we can go with anything we want there, I think.
Okay.
All right, so those were our 3 levels for this week. I hope you enjoyed those. We do have loads of other levels for you guys to go play in just a second, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
All right. And the DLC, a lot of you guys, well, this is news now. The DLC, a lot of you guys have been wondering about when that's going to be released, and it will be released periodically once the PlayStation Store is back online. And last I saw, they were still aiming for the end of the month, before the end of the month. So just keep your eyes peeled on us.playstation.com, or actually blog.us.playstation.com. So just keep watching there, and I think Tron and Killzone 3 are the 2 packs.
The 2 packs that we're mostly waiting for, right? And our crown contest, our Mind the Gap contest, is now over. So if you have not heard that yet, please go ahead and finish your levels, publish them, and have your lbp.me links sent in an email by tonight. As soon as you see this, actually, get on it and do it. We're not going to be clock watchers if you're like 3 minutes late or a day late. It won't be a huge deal, but we do need to get these sent off to be judged. So as soon as possible, if you miss when we send them off, then you miss when we send them off.
Let's see, today is the 27th. We'll be gracious and give you guys, please do it by the 29th.
We'll give you 2 Monday. Or
29th, 30th.
Sooner, yeah.
29th or 30th.
We are going to be sending them off to Media Molecule to be judged. And it's gone pretty well, honestly. We have taken over the top-rated levels of the week page. If you go to, well, at least this week, if you go to top-rated levels for this week, under the more options thing, under community levels, if you go there, you can see
it's like MTG blah, blah, blah.
Our Mind the Gap levels,
so funny.
or I guess your Mind the Gap levels, have taken over the entire top-rated page, which is pretty incredible. I was just like, whoa, we actually did something for once. Like, I don't think we've ever gotten one of our contests or even one of our, like, okay, go out and build something crazy things to ever take up that much of a significant part of the community.
And then one of them actually got picked, which I was
kind of defeats. It's awesome because it's that level, and there's several others that totally deserve to be picked. But I was just thinking, like, we were gonna do that as part of our. It was gonna be a surprise for you guys. Like, okay, not only do you get the crowns or whatever and winning our contest, but then we were gonna get you guys picked. But apparently you were good enough to do that without our doing that as a contest.
Which really
prize.
wasn't fair. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but it was really awesome. In case you haven't played that yet, or in case you saw that and were wondering what that was, yes, that was our doing, kind of.
Well,
we were the inspiration for that ish, maybe. I don't know.
And then they have a little big planetarium sign on the level. I'm like, come on.
No, but the beginning was pretty awesome. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that because all of your levels that I've played have been really awesome. But I'm just pointing out this one. I really liked how they incorporated, like, you thought it was going to be the level, but it was really just an intro
to
them
cool.
or the contest, which is kind of nice. So speaking of contests, Little Big Land and LBPC are both hosting contests. Little Big Planet Central is doing a floorless level.
Yes, it's going to be a floorless platformer. So basically what they want you to do is swinging levels. So
that'll be pretty difficult.
That will be, because I don't really know. I guess I just don't think of a swinging level being an intense platformer.
Well, it's going to have a floor at some point. I like the idea. I'm just... Technicalities again. You know, you are going to have a floor eventually.
Where?
At the very bottom of the level will always have a floor.
Now, if you put gas, you would die before you got to the floor.
True, but it's still there is still a physical floor there.
No, there's not.
Yeah, because then if Sackboy didn't disintegrate, his body would still hit.
If you can't see it and you can't touch the floor, it's not there.
Okay.
Technically.
Fine. So if you see the moon, you can't touch the moon because you just can't get to the moon without a spaceship. Then the moon doesn't exist. It's not there.
That's incorrect.
I just got
No, because you can get to the moon without dying. So technically, it's there.
Okay.
And you can see it in a telescope.
So, moving on to some more important things, Josh and Trevor Hughes have entered a Your Life in Sony 3D contest on a Facebook page. So, if you want to see more about that, you can click on the link that's down in the description on whichever device or medium that you're watching us through. And
quite a touching story.
Yeah, it's a very touching story. So, it's definitely for a good cause. Also, going back to our Mind the Gap contest, if you have not played any of these levels, we are going to, or Daniel, while I'm editing, is going to compile a list of all the known Mind the Gap levels that we've...
all be down in the description.
So you'll be able to go down into the description and queue up all of our Mind the Gap levels. And we really want some feedback from you guys. So
yeah,
if
go
you have
ahead
the
and
extra
pick out your
time-
favorites. I mean, if there's one that you're like, wow, you guys must have this in one of the...
Right, and there could be one
whatever.
that we have not seen yet because our email has not come through yet. If you see any cool ones like that, definitely
We'll
let us
update
know
it.
in the description, or
Yep.
I guess in the comments. That'd be kind of weird if you guys could modify our description.
That would be.
But yeah,
That's scary too.
And speaking of description, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. We broke 500,000 views, which is 500,000 views.
What does that have to do with the description?
I don't know. There's a description on YouTube.
Speaking of description, we
and
broke
watching on
500,000
YouTube,
views.
there's a description on YouTube. It all links together somehow.
Yes, it does.
It's like a giant...
Somehow.
I don't know, but thanks for watching on YouTube. It's been awesome. I definitely think it was a good move that we decided to start putting some of our videos over there. Blip.tv has opened a new homepage, and our show was selected of one of 1,800 premium shows, along with, I think, several other home partners, even PlayStation home partners.
I think so.
And we have a shiny new homepage on Blip.tv that you definitely need to go
pretty.
check out.
I was in a store, and I always, like, in a store, I'll, like, boot up the laptops and search our show. And I went to the Blip TV page. I'm like, that looks pro. So
Yeah,
if
it
you
really
haven't
does.
seen it yet, go to blip.tv/LittleBigPodcast.
Yep.
So,
Okay, and in 3 weeks, for those of you who have been consistent to our show, in 3 weeks is episode 125, and on every fifth episode, or on every episode ending in a 5, we do a Q&A special, which is where we take your questions either live or through email. I don't know what we're going to do this time. We may do it live again. I don't know. It was pretty fun last time.
yeah. And just an update on MTG, like, just giving you guys a time frame. We're going to send them to be judged on Tuesday, and, you know, Media Molecule's quite busy, so it should be at least within the next 2 weeks that we get them back.
All right. Awesome. And, yeah, I think that's it for this week, guys. Yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great weekend and a good long weekend for those of you who have a long weekend. And I got to get off to editing, and then I have to go graduate. So.
All right. Contact us, littlebigpodcasters@gmail.com, Twitter @LBPodcast, subscribe on YouTube, watch on the go with iTunes, and we are in the PlayStation Home Community Theater with a new episode this week, so you can go and check that out right now.
All right. I was about to say thanks for watching again, but anyway.
We already thanked you for
we will
watching,
see you
so
guys
get
next
out of here.
Friday.
I'm just
Goodbye.
kidding. Bye.